As the 2027 political landscape takes shape, the African Democratic Congress, ADC, has found itself at the center of a high-stakes legal and structural tug-of-war. What began as a strategic move to reposition the party as an opposition powerhouse has devolved into a complex jurisdictional battlefield. The Transparent Coalition, a transition conducted with a rare level of transparency, as explained by Ralph in this video, aimed at creating a bulletproof legitimacy for the new leadership structure led by David Mark. Also in this video, you will be thrilled by Liberace Oshoma's analysis of Nafiu Bala's suit against David Mark-led ADC, and ADC's refusal to appear to Bala's suit. Lastly, we examine why ADC choose to file a case against INEC instead of obeying appeal court order, a decision that comes with such risk. Will they navigate successfully through the muddy waters of the law? Sit back and watch the full video for a better understanding of how ADC Coalition came to be. Insightful explanation on the appeal court ruling and much more.
Let's take a walk backwards, as I said earlier, such that we can understand how we got here in the first place. Many have questioned the manner of takeover of the David Mark-led group of your party. Some have said, especially the Ralph Nwosu, that it was a hijack, that you were paid, to surrender the leadership to the David Mark-led group, that there were no congresses, and if there should have been any substantive leader following your resignation, in line with your constitution, that substantive leader should have come from the Southeast, not from the North, as we have seen. And so I'd like you to speak to that. And subsequently, when suits were initiated against the David Mark-led group, why did it take time for you to come out to begin to speak? Shouldn't you have challenged subsequently with a suit, since you are a party in the matter?
Okay, thank you. What culminated to the ADC coalition started more than a year and a half ago, almost going to 2 years now. And everything was deliberated thoroughly. INEC was involved. All the different stakeholders were involved. And when I accused the media were also involved from. There's no program that we did, my dear, that channel. We didn't invite channel. We didn't do any program. There was no closed-door program. We're all transparently done. Channel there. I know that if you check your archives, you will see where we moved motions according to our constitution, and the motions were carried, authorizing everything that we did. Before we started the journey, in May, I think about May 2025, but sometime in May 2024, we called the first NEC meeting, and NEC involved almost 129 to 137 members. All the state chairmen, 36 plus Abuja 37, all the zonal executives. I think for each zone has about 11 member executive. 11-member executive, you multiply by 6, you have 66-member executive, plus the 30-something, that was almost 100. Then plus 39-member NWC members. All of them were in attendance, and we moved. That we have been searching out, using different avenues and stakeholders, statesmen of this country, that we'll be moving out, talking to different organizations. But before we proceed, we want to ask, are we ready to go into merger, into coalition, into alliances, to be able to grow our party from a struggling party to a major party that can form government at national level? We all moved and voted unanimously. Nobody said no. We voted that any of them were interested. And that was carried. That was May 2024. Some of the stakeholders of this other organization who were interested, they sent their representative, and they saw what we did. After that, by December of the same year, we held another NEC. And in that NEC, we said there are things in our constitution that we must touch because we gave the different organizations our constitution. They went to see. They saw that before you can be an officer in ADC, you have to be a member of ADC for 2 years. Before you can contest any election, whether to be a member of the executive or to contest election as governor ATC under ADC, you must be a member of ADC for 2 years. And they said, ADC, with this your constitution, we can't do business with you. Then, but in your constitution, we also saw that you can waive some of these things, but we don't want you to waive it indoors. We also saw in your constitution that the NEC can act as a national convention and make amendments in your constitution.
All right.
We all sat and decided on the second option, to have a NEC, and INEC, each time we hold the NEC, INEC is there, and the 120-something to 100-something executive of the party that constitutes will be there.
Right.
And we moved motions to make amendments in our constitution so that to allow people who can come in the same day to contest election to the party officers. And also, we amended the area that said that the officer must come from your zone, and so on. And so all of these things were done. INEC was there. Channel, you were there. All the other TV stations, all the papers, everybody was there.
All right,
our 100-something member executive were there. And so it's not something that Chief Nwosu and National Secretary or so did indoors.
So these are some of the things also that the court will be considering. We understand that.
So today, we ask the question, can Section 83 of the Electoral Act 2026 extinguish, that's what I feel, quench the fire of Nafiu Bala's case against the ADC? Who be Nafiu Bala? You will soon know. For those when the man went to court, he approached the court, asking court for an order. He asked the court for an order. What are his prayers? One, an interim order, injunction restraining the fourth defendant as INEC from recognizing David Mark Aregbesola as chairman and secretary of the party. This is not in prayer. They are stated here, restraining the fourth defendant from recognizing the second and third defendants as chairman and national secretary of the party. That's one of the prayers. And then also the second prayers was an order also restraining the second and third defendant, that is David Mark and Aregbesola and their agent, and so as national chairman and secretary of the party. So he was asking the court, say, grant me order, restrain them. That is prayer 2 there, is there, and then prayer 3, another restraining the fourth defender, which is INEC now, from recognizing. So ask the court also, say, no, please, don't recognize or deal with Aregbesola and David Mark or their agent, however, acting on behalf of or alone, pending the determination of the substantive suits by the Honorable Court, pending the determination of the matter when it bring come court. So those were his prayers before the court. And when the court talk, the court upon reading the affidavit and hearing the lawyer's argument, and this now, the matter came up before Justice Emeka Nwite of the Federal High Court on the 4th of September 2025. Then when the matter come up for court. And so, like I said, what did the court say? What did the court talk? Here, the court say, it is hereby ordered, this is now the order of the court. It is hereby ordered that the plaintiff applicant application dated and filed on the 2nd of September is refused. So the court refused that in ex parte application. Because mind you, this one are the ex parte application. There's another interlocutory application before the main originating application. I don't explain them before for other videos. And that, the second prayer, we said that An order of this court is hereby made directing the plaintiff applicant to put the defendant on notice. So that is it there. And the case is adjourned to the 15th day of September 2025 for the respondent to show cause. Who are the respondents? Like I said before, David Mark, Aregbesola, the party, INEC, and Nwosu. So the court say, no, this is where you want to make we do so. We're not going to do a mess party. You must put the other party on notice. You must invite them. You must bring them here. Let them come and explain why we should not grant the interlocutory application. Didn't come. They did not appear. Instead, it was only INEC that filed their response. INEC filed their response, as you can see, this is INEC response dated and filed on the 12th day of September 2025. That it must be noted that upon being said, INEC filed its affidavit to show cause. Mind you, the order was to show cause. Why we no go restrain you. And first, starting from paragraph 13 of INEC affidavit, INEC counter affidavit dated and filed on the 12th. Like I said, it is stated there. What did INEC argue? INEC position in their counter affidavit was that the National Executive Committee NEC meeting of ADC fixed for 29 July has been held, wherein the fifth defendant and his other nomination national officers, who is the fifth defendant now? Fifth defendant I told you is Nwosu. INEC argument was that the election, the national meeting of ADC had been held on 29 July, and the fifth defendant, Nwosu, and his national officers had resigned their position and appointed the second, David Mark and Aregbesola, as interim national chairman and secretary, respectively. It is stated there in INEC paragraphs. It is there if you look very well. And also, INEC argued that, that based on the outcome of that NEC meeting, the fourth defender, which is INEC, has already accorded recognition to Aregbesola and David Mark as national chairman and secretary. Being an INEC argument or fact in their counter affidavit. INEC also, if you look at another paragraph, they went further to say that the person they post to the affidavit say, I know as a fact that an injunction cannot lie to stop an action that has been completed. So normally you say once the horse don't bolt, you know, go say lock the gates, make the horse no bolt. So that INEC now depose say these people they don't appoint them already. So now you know go fit use injunction, take restrain us from recognizing them because we already don't recognize them. Anyway, that now today INEC affidavit dated 12th day of September and filed that same day. That the plaintiff Nafiu application is an invitation to this honorable court to delve into the issues of internal domestic affair of the defendant. So the argument that time also be say, look, this is the internal matter of the party. You no suppose courts, you no suppose delve into him. No listen to Nafiu, don't even listen to him. These were contained in the affidavit of INEC. But I must also tell you that INEC never filed this affidavit to ADC, no file counter. ADC Mark, no file anything. Aregbesola, no file anything. INEC was the ones that also INEC stated that they know as a fact that this honorable court is a subordinate court to the Supreme Court. And so they must follow the Supreme Court decision in APC and Moses. APC and Moses. And also in the case of Jegede and INEC. and also the case of Senator Samuel N. Anyanwu and Aniago Emmanuel, that it is in the interest of justice to refuse the application. So this was INEC position. No, if you listen to the man, don't bother. This matter is way outside the court jurisdiction. It is an internal matter of the court, of the party. We don't recognize the party already. No listen to them, no listen to Nafiu Rabiu throw away this case. I must say at this instance that if ADC and David Mark and co had also filed their counter affidavit and state this position, maybe by now, they would not argue that application, take court for don't either throw them or grant them, and then before they take the next step. But no, ADC and David Mark, the moment they serve them this paper, INEC file their response, them no file their response.
Exactly. It's a delicate
All right,
balance.
gentlemen, let's move straight to our final conversation. Tensions within the African Democratic Congress ADC continues to escalate as the struggle for the soul of the party by contending forces intensifies. The faction led by David Mark has approached the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja to challenge recent decision by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to de-recognize its leadership. In a bid to resolve the dispute, Mark asked the court to compel INEC to recognize and monitor the party's congresses and restore the ADC National Working Committee's names on its official records pending the outcome of the case. The ADC has gone back to court to file another suit, okay? But what should we call this? Is this a potential abuse of court processes? Because you remember what the appeal court told them.
Yes, exactly.
But what's going on?
This should be the 13th case that they have in court, if I'm not mistaken. 13th, of course, one case too many. And I think ADC is not so heavy matters at all. And they're also abusing that, I've forgotten that there's a rule, 2019, that says that the court can grant all this injunction and all that. But I think they are abusing it. And what Josie Whitty also said, you know, this issue of antebellum, you know, it's been
Status quo antebellum.
Status quo. And do you know, as somebody who studied the English language, we always have a recourse to what you call an etymology of the either a phrase or a word. And I had to do a research, and I saw that what the judge did was deliberate. People didn't understand it, which of course the APC ought to also, the ADC ought to learn from. Now, there's a difference between status quo and status quo antebellum. People don't know that. It was when I studied it, I understand that the judge actually was in the right. Right now, what we are doing here, if the court says maintain status quo, what we are doing now, continue with it. That's what it is, whatever is happening right now.
Continue.
But if the judge says the status quo antebellum, mean what was before now, go back to
before the crisis.
Exactly. Now, during the Latin world, the people nations were going to war and all that. So when they let's go for a truce. But they say, okay, before I do that, go and withdraw your troop from. So go back to before the war started, because bellum is war in Latin. So go back to how the war was. How it was before the war, before we can now talk. So maybe return your ambassador that you recall. Do all this before we can. That's exactly how it was. So when he now said the status quo antebellum, it's not. It has to go back to how things were before the crisis. So right now, I think what the ADC should have done is that the court said that
go back to
Gombe should serve them. To serve them the paper, so that you will understand, give me a reason why I should stop them. That's what I think the window that ADC should be going after. Not going back to another court of concurrent jurisdiction again to go and file a case.
This fresh suit goes against the status quo antebellum.
Exactly.
It goes against it.
Number one. Number two is that, why I said this is causing more trouble itself. Now, they have gone to there now. When is the court going to fix hearing? Because the window, I think it's May 10th is the last day for all this issue of submission and all that. So does the ADC have that time.
Okay. Biko, instituting a fresh suit could be interpreted as going against the appeal court. Do you think the ADC is rightly or wrongly advised here?
Honestly, the matter is a little complex for me. I thought they would go back to the trial court.
Extra trial court, yeah.
Because the Federal High Court had already given an order that the trial court should expedite the hearing. And as I've said before, this matter, this judgment can be given in 3 days. Because it's not like normal trial where you call witnesses and all that. No. They will just write their what's it called? Submit to the court. File their written whatever. Submit to the court and expect the court to give judgment.
Why are they not exploring that?
They are not exploring
That's what I'm saying.
Whereas it's clearly stated in the judgment that the case should be there should be accelerated hearing. It was clearly in that appeal court judgment. But people are not even talking about it. But that's a window that
they could have explored.
That they are not talking about. They are more concerned about this status quo bellum that is being misinterpreted, this and that. Now, the what David Mark's lawyer is seeking is a mandatory injunction compelling INEC to reverse the decision to remove the list of his leaders from his portal. He also wants the court, this Federal High Court in Abuja, to set aside the removal of the ADC, NWC from INEC's records and direct the electoral body to restore and maintain the names of the party's leadership pending the determination of the suit. He also wants the court to restrain INEC from recognizing any rival leadership or interfering with the party's record. He also wants the court to nullify INEC's refusal to monitor the party's congresses and conventions. Because the appeal court, by saying that no action should be taken, that will foist a fait accompli in respect of the substantive matter. Because if INEC continues to deal with you, INEC is going to your convention, going to your congresses and all that to monitor. Ultimately, the same INEC will eventually put you on the ballot.
Exactly.
The same INEC will allow you to take part in the election, whereas there's a judgment.
Subsisting.
There's a judgment.
It has not been set aside.
Yes,
it's still there.
the substantive matter is still there. So what is the point in having a court case while you continue to take action that renders that court case a nullity? That was why the judge said no action should be taken that will foist a fait accompli. A fait accompli, you know what it means. Look, this is what will happen no matter what. This is what will happen. So, and that was what triggered the INEC chairman to take that decision, because he didn't want to take any action that will foist a fait accompli. If he continues to deal with that group, it means that it recognizes that group. And there's a judgment that says you cannot recognize that group. Because if you recognize the group, it means that you are acting against in complete contradiction of a subsisting court order. So those abusing the man, I don't understand. Honestly, I don't understand. This matter, if they had sorted themselves out before this whole issue began, there would have been no need for this. This is purely a court matter that has been politicized. They are now all saying that as of September 2nd, 2025, when the suit was instituted, David Mark had been recognized national chairman of ADC, and the INEC decisions to delete the leadership was based on a misinterpretation of the appellate court directives. So he wants the court to conduct day-to-day proceedings until final determination. Now, the case that is on ground, and this one that they just filed, the courts are courts of coordinate jurisdiction. So I really don't know.
Which one should now take precedence?
Yes.
See, that's another one.
So
that's why I said they are causing more trouble for
but
themselves.
at the same time, I think that it makes sense to go before a court
Yes.
rather than the saber rattling that we are witnessing.
Self-help, you know.
Going from TV station to TV station to make all the noise, journalists refusing to even understand the law and just saying all kinds of things. You know, yesterday, here we discussed whether Goodluck Jonathan can contest.
I watched that.
There are many people. There is a guy now who works with the chairman of APC who posted a clip. And all of these ignorant, ill-bred boys on Twitter, they were just abusing me. And this, they will never try to get involved in a healthy argument. All they do
It's just to insult.
is just to abuse people. And that's why they are thoroughly ignorant. Many of them can't pass exams. You know, never do wells. And what were they saying? They said, no, he's an APC journalist, is this, is that. As I always say, more APC members have blocked me on Facebook than any other group of people.
Have they started calling you a brown envelope?
Idiots. What do you expect from them? Now, and I've spoken with lawyers, judges, when there is an amendment to the Constitution, it takes effect from the day that Constitution was born.
So it goes back to 1999.
Yes. So it is elevated ignorance to imagine that because this thing was amended after Jonathan left office, then it is not binding on him. As I've said before, any lawyer worth his name knows that Jonathan cannot contest the next election. And I double dare him, let him try to contest. We all will see what will happen. Oh, I'm repeating it. Once there's an alteration to the Constitution, like it has been done in this case, that you cannot be sworn in more than two times. That alteration, that amendment to the Constitution takes effect from the day that Constitution was born. So rather than abusing people, go and learn.
Or go and read.
They don't read. They may read and not understand. Okay, the things that they understand are different.
And then the perception. And also
where people have made up their minds to be ignorant.
No, you can change them.
Ignorant peddlers.
Yeah.
Okay, ignorance peddlers will never agree to even understand what you are saying, what he is saying. Because their own goal is to peddle ignorance.
All right, gentlemen, it's a fine place for us to leave it. Charles Adele, thank you so much for doing this with us.
Appreciate it.
I love your outfit, by the way.
I want to be like you. I want to be like Virgil when I grow up.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
This dress that you are wearing, if you hang it loosely anywhere, I can lay my hands on it.
And also, Vicky, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Okay, more to come. Yes. More to come. I'm sure your award cabinet is already no space.
But it's not transferable. That's the problem.
And that's it on Journalists Hangout this week. You can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode tonight at 11. Join us on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalists Hangout on Sunday. We are on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Benga Oreshegun. Bye for now and God bless Nigeria.